Good morning, everyone. I am Vishnu Jagtap, and in front of all of you, I am present in the Economics Time newspaper headlines. So, first of all, inflation cools, industrial growth bounces back. Next, Infosys posts 13.4% rise in quarter 3 net profit, up FY23 revenue growth guidance. Next, deploying more troops along eastern border to counter PLA army chief. Next, Joshi math, damage from unknown water source. Next, SEBI notices to PE VC funds for floating rules. Next, no blending of rules. Next, government may invest in cybersecurity expertise for cars. Next, CV sales may hit pre-COVID level this fiscal year. Next, Maruti aim to drive into top SUV slot in FY24. Page number 2 in that pure political section, under that Joshi math panel points to water from unknown source for cracks. Next, 5.4 centimeter subsidence in 12 days ISRO. Next, CM Dami panel to decide market rate of compensation. Next, on page number 3 in pure political section, under that steps taken to curb excessive poll spending, EC to Supreme Court. Next, PM gives mantra of respond, recognize, respect and reform to re-energize world. Next, Modi urges youth to pick up new skill. Next, Jaishankar call for sharing of best practices among global South nation. Next, young boy breaks security cordon at PM roadshow. Next, former Union Minister Sharad Yadav death. Next, snake in mid-day meal at Bengal's Birbhum school. Next, home means Shah to meet families of victims of recent Rajouri terror attacks. Next, Congress questions Dhankar comments on judiciary. Next, Delhi exemption of Union of India, Center tells Supreme Court. On page number 5, economics time market section, under that top IT growth code intact, bumps ahead. Next, Alibaba Group sells 3% stake in Paytm for rupees 1031 crore. Next, many cancel equity SIPs has return fall, others keep pouring in money. Next, like stocks, firms offer curated fund baskets to meet varied needs. Next, Bullrad favors getting rates above 5% as soon as possible. Next, Wall Street rises in volatile trade. Next, Bill Care, Rekha Jhunjhunwala offloads most of her holdings. Next, Bitcoin rally shows that where tech stocks go, cryptocurrencies follow. On page number 6 in smart investing section, under that furniture retailer Stanley Lifestyle plans rupees 700 crore IPO. Next, Apex partners likely to exit Shriram Fin. Next, SBI launches e-bank guarantee facility. Next, Shah Polymers lists at 31% premium to IPO price. Next, Anand Rathi Wealth profit up 35% in December quarter. Next, the contract agreement extended 4 times. Next, inflation study beyond forecast can make policy more effective. Next, NCLT to hear torrent plea against Reliance Cap auction on January 16. Next, mutual funds to continue to pair exposure to NBFC. Next, core to focus on innovation marketing. Next, RBI 6 action against PFS chief over alleged violations. Next, within the RBI's target rate band. Next, dual impact. Next, one contract in 2012. Next, operating margin overlook. Next, on page number 7 in that on page number 7, road to success section, under that UP leads the way to reform, perform and transform. Next, drawing investments upward. Next, the Tamil Nadu investors keen on UP. On page number 8 in disruption section, under that Amazon official told to appear before Pune Labour Commissioner on Jan 17. Next, SCL Tech locks 19% rise in quarter 3 net profit beats uh, street estimates. Next, Ravi Kumar will replace Hampers as Cognizant CEO. Next, D2C startup Wakefit gets $40 million. Next, B2B startup Apna Club bags $16 million. Next, would not want would not allow gaming players to hijack self-regulatory body. Chandrasekhar. Next, manufacturing trends set to boost the economy. Next, on page number 9, in that startup and economy section, Maha sugar output set to decline 6 to 7%. Next, one empty tur dal imports likely has output dips. Next, government to invite bids for 8 gigawatt wind projects each year. Next, Puri wants OMC compensated for selling fuel below market rates. Next, India, Guyana agree for ties in oil and gas sector. Next, ePay firm cash free lays off around 100 staff to cut cost. On page number 10 in brand and company section, under that, Ratan Tata sets up a new endowment trust. Next, OnePlus plans fresh investments to ramp up India manufacturing. Next, WHO warns against use of Marion Bio's 2 cough syrups. Next, liabilities to be absorbed by merged entity Z to NCLT. Next, PVR IONX merger gets NCLT approval. Next, Natco plea court sets aside Novartis patent. Next, no, not Chinese, Indians still sought after tourists. Next, panel suggests not for COVAX has booster. Next, all cargo by 75% in fair trade of 412M. Next, Delhi airport issue, SpyJet report sought. Next, FSI standard for Basmati identification. Next, government act against 6 YouTube channels. On page number 11, economy and macro and more section, under that, India eyes rupees 35,000 crore investment by 47 to create waterways network. Next, financial minister stresses on need to push for reforms in multilateral institutions. Next, no FTA, US and India looking at big picture. Goel. Next, policy on ethanol pumps in works. On page number 12 in around the world section, under that, the development of AI's language capabilities is meant to enhance human powers. It is not supposed to replace us. Next, Subway weight sale at over $10 billion valuation. Next, Alphabet warily to cut 15% of staff, lay off nearly 200. Next, Adobe tried to buy Figma twice before $20 billion deal. Next, JP Morgan accuses Morgan Stanley defector of poaching 32 clients. Next, Twitter tells Asia HQ staff to clear desk, work from home. Next, US inflation cools again, put Fed on track to downshift. Next, UK jobs boom cools as vaccines slip below pre-COVID level. Next, say leaked user data not due to flow in its platform. On page number 13, in companies section, under that, LTTS to acquire SWC biz of L&T for rupees 800 crore. Next, joint group being set up. On page number 14, the edit page, under that section, inflation on course to take further dip. Next, Pakistan, a different kind of concern. Next, Musk, the biggest money loser ever. Next, the tyranny of numbers. Next, mechanism of thought. Next, a capitalist who had social capital. Next, an aeroplane with amnesia. Next, news has Sattvic, not fast food. Next, where's the new store? Next, WEF mission $1 trillion. Then on page number 15 in economic Penachi section, under that, this firm wants its employees to say no to more meetings. Next, how to spare work yourself from shoulder pain. Next, why Mandela's family has criticized Harry and Meghan shows. Next, in Ronaldo, Saudi youth find a new hero to worship. Next, KL classic anchoring. Next, India began campaign versus Spain. Next, Man City shocked. Next, sitting Taliban. Australia cancel Afghanistan ODI series. Next, Novak Rafa only in final. Next, on page number 16 in Economics Time Auto Expo news section, under that CV sales may glide into pre-pandemic zone by FY23 end. Next, eye on cyber security has car go smart. Next, making heads turn. Next, EVs may charge up 50% of Tata Motors sale by 2030. Next, Maruti expect to drive into top slot in SUV in FY24. Next, how clean is your EV? Next, gear up for safety, Gadkari tells Atto Inc. Next, Chinese EV giant BYD may hit main Make in India road. On page number 18 in the economics time section, under that, Superia Life, Blue Cross Labs, 4 others get GST summons. Next, RBI backs non-bank arms route to end logjam with ESMA. Next, study distribution of inflation. Next, merged core to absorb dues Z to NCLT. Next, NCLT to hear torrent plea against Reliance Cap auction on Jan 16. Next, despite China easing border curbs, India is still sought after tourists. Next, NCLT sanctions approval to PVR Ionex merger arrangement. Next, Goyal says India and US looking at a big picture, rules out FTA. Next, Ravi Kumar is new Cognizant CEO. Next, JP Morgan's Iyengar becomes the only woman to head M&A on Wall Street. Next, Google in the spotlight. Next, steady distribution of inflation. Next, CBI books former Finance Secretary Myanmar Mayaram is in alleged corruption case. I am repeating again this news. CBI books former Finance Secretary Mayaram in alleged corruption case. Next, on page number 19, in that HCCB revives plan to sell Coca-Cola's bottling biz. Next, over 18,000 toys seized for lack of quality. That much for today. Thanks for watching. Make a good day.